minimalism feels like cutting out the excess in our lives so that we can make space to live our dreams, to live our most ideal lives.
Minimalism for me is the getting rid of things that no longer serve us, no longer make sense to us, or no longer giving to us, and making space for the things that we truly want to be focused on. My life looked really different a few years ago before adopting a minimalist lifestyle and changing things around for myself. But you know, I used to be married and have a house and have like a rental property and some very unhealthy habits. And I think starting to declutter my internal environment actually led to decluttering my external environment. I had a lot of fears, and I think at some point I did have to muster up courage, like find bravery inside of myself. You know, now I'm living in this really small RV with this amazing person and doing all these incredible things and having like one pair of shorts and one pair of shoes.
Similarly, I was totally overworking myself. I was trying to sort out my life, trying to figure out how to make the changes I wanted, but I didn't even have the energy to make the changes. All I knew was I needed less junk in my life, and I think I just kept taking steps towards that, and there were some big leaps in there, you know, a big leap of faith, changing my diet, leaving my marriage, getting Winnie, my RV. I feel like I live in Winnie most of the time, or out of a backpack, out of a really small backpack. Love to travel the world.
We don't have a particular city that we live in, so I kind of like being a nomad.
I feel like I get to live this magical existence with amazing people in my life. Get to travel the world with you. Get to do acrobatics, which I just am like over the moon about. I also really love Winnie, our home, and this simple small space. Right behind you, there's the bed. All this amazing storage space where I keep things like melons, fridge. And I've got the toilet, shower, closet. Oh, and I'll just show how we can drive right here.
We always are excited to go home, and home is wherever we are these days. When we go to the grocery store, we can just get our food and go home in the parking lot. If we are at a park, we can go home and go to sleep.
Or if we want to visit some people, but we also want to have our own space.
Yeah, we park in their driveway.
Maybe my favorite thing about living in a small space and not having a lot is just the freedom that it provides to live the way we want, to live anywhere in the world that we want, and to not have our stuff weighing us down. I think that there are some things that we do normally in our daily life now that other people could see as challenges.
Emptying the septic tank and the gray water tank, we have a little routine that we do, and for some people I could see that being challenging. Like, not everybody wants to do that, but yeah, we have a great time doing it. I make all my money from YouTube in one way or another. I have a YouTube channel that is thrivingminimalist.com. I talk about simple living for the most part. On YouTube itself, I get paid a little bit, but it's relatively small at this point. However, I get all of my clientele from YouTube. And then people come to me and ask to either do coaching or ask to do therapy. So I'm a trained IFS therapist.
I have a similar YouTube channel. It's under my name, Brittany Taylor, and that really just started for me because I was excited about traveling out of a small pack. I also have my simple living and travel business. I love tracking our budget. It's so fun to look at where we spend our money and how much things cost, and I love making it really simple. Like, now we have a travel credit card and we have a food credit card, and that's basically where all our money goes, either to travel or food, and like there's like maybe one or two other categories.
I feel like I have more now than I've ever had before. Sometimes people ask if we miss anything from our traditional life, and I guess I really have to say no. There's nothing that I lay awake at night just thinking, oh man, I wish I had that. The spark that really ignited this big change for both of us was changing our diets. Yeah.
So I think minimalism in a way started by switching to a plant-based diet.
We've used this one little area of minimalism, which was around our diet, to just kind of like open up all these other areas. I don't think there's any area that we're living where we don't proceed from a minimalist perspective.